This is my 2025 Rivian R1S tri-motor. Had it about 3 months now, and it's been a great truck. It's been reliable. Of course, it's only 3 months old. It's used, but 3 months I've had it, and I've had no issues with it that could cause a breakdown. This is minor issues. They fixed everything so far. I have another appointment coming up, but again, it's very minor stuff. But I did want to do one modification for it due to its height. Height right now it's in its highest mode, and I like to drive in high, not highest, but high mode, just for a better view, better comfort, and in parking lots especially, being so high, it can protect against door dings. But I have a 5'3" wife, and I have two other kids. My daughter's 5'2", 5'3". Other daughter's like 4'10" on a good day. And so getting in and out when it's so high can be an issue. So the easiest solution is running boards. Problem is, this is not a 4Runner or a Tahoe or Suburban. It's a very small aftermarket for Rivians. Finding running boards was a small challenge. You can't find them locally in Dallas. I live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You can't find them locally in Dallas at all. I had to go online to find them. And they are much more expensive than a 4Runner or a more higher mass-produced vehicle. So it took me about a month to decide on which ones I wanted. Because there's like 4 or 5 out there, to be honest, that people that make them. But which ones I actually wanted and to spend the money for. So I'm going to install them myself because there's no one to install them in the Dallas area because most off-road shops won't touch an electric car out of fear or they don't know anything about them really. So I'm going to install it myself and see how it goes. So follow along if you want to. I'm not going to do a full install video because there's plenty of them out there on the internet right now. I'm going to do more of a owner's perspective installing the running boards as a super average suburban dad. And why did I not get rock sliders? Because I'm a super average suburban dad. At most, I'll go off-road onto like gravel at a kid's soccer game. I just want easy step-in height. All right, let's get started.
So if you're watching this, I'm guessing you have a Rivian and are interested in installing your own running board. Cool. Here's some tips that I kind of saw on the Rivian forums. Do it, of course, in your garage if you can. Get a nice creeper to use to roll back and forth under your vehicle. Of course, put it on the highest suspension setting possible, and then get to work. Taking off the lower plastic panels, that's very, very easy. That's a no-brainer. But then when you actually have to remove the actual body bolts, I highly, highly, highly recommend getting a floor jack or something that you can use to help support your breaker bar when you remove these bolts. These bolts are really, really big, and I'm showing to you here because I shipped one. This one didn't ship. I shipped another one because I tried to use a breaker bar all by itself, and the problem is you're trying to use tension with the breaker bar kind of wanting to fall back down toward the earth. So if you use a jack, you can put pressure up on the breaker bar to help secure the breaker bar against the body as you remove the bolts. Much, much easier. The total time it took me to do everything was about 4 hours total. And that includes removing the panels, putting on the aero panels, and then putting on the actual step on each side. So 6 hours total for the entire vehicle. Again, I took my time, didn't rush. The instructions again for the aero covers are horrible. No one will buy these aero covers all by themselves. Whoever's buying the aero covers from EV Sportline will be buying these steps as well. There should be one set of instructions for aero covers and step installation versus having two. Additionally, they should have one set of instructions for a Gen 1 R1S, one for a Gen 2 R1S, and they should actually have separate parts. I think it is really cheap of them to have one piece that can go for a Gen 1 or Gen 2, and the instructions literally say about 42 inches, about 18 inches. This should be exact. It's 2025. Additionally, see, I'm getting kind of confused by what I'm looking at. The photos in the instructions are of horrible quality. It is 2025. We have iPhones. It's easy to take a nice, clear photo. This is an online instruction. I'm using my iPad to look at everything. The photos were absolutely horrible to look at, and they could be so much better. Again, this is not a cheap device I'm installing on my vehicle. I paid a premium for these versus, again, the EV base form side steps are much, much cheaper. Again, EV Sportline, the actual side steps are fine. The aero covers, leave much to be desired, and the instructions for the air covers leave much, much to be desired. There are detailed videos on YouTube you can watch of installing the actual side steps. Super easy. Again, the instructions are very, very good for the most part. But the air covers, no bueno. No bueno at all. And one more thing about the side steps and the air covers, the packing. You know what? They had this very thin foam packaging around all of the stuff. Yeah. I paid extra for shipping insurance and they recommend it, and I can see why because there wasn't enough padding for these really heavy things to be shipped through FedEx. I had some scratches on top of my side steps. I dealt with it. They're gonna be stepped on. It's an outside of a vehicle, but I can easily see how you can have damage to this because they didn't do a very good job packaging them for shipment. There was no thick foam, no thick styrofoam, just a very thin layer of padding. But again, these weigh 88 pounds per side, I believe. They're pretty hefty. The padding should have been a lot better. Again, I paid extra $40 for insurance. I'm kind of wondering if I should have or not. I'm glad I did. I didn't have any damage, but I can easily see how they could be damaged in shipment because they are so heavy and they don't have very good padding and packaging from EV Sportline. All right, almost done.
It's on the car. If you have a Rivian and are considering buying the EV Sportline running boards, which are fine, absolutely save your money. Do not get the stupid Aero panels. I guess if you are leasing the car, you might want them because you can't really cut holes in these and then return it because there's holes in them. But if you own the car, don't get the Aero panels. They don't fit well. I've moved them back and forth. I double check my measurements. I think they have horrible instructions. There's too much leeway in where they get mounted. Like 3 to 4 inches forward and backward make a big difference on the fit. So I did all the measurements twice, marked it, and put it where it's supposed to be, and they don't fit right. You can't properly torque the running boards on with the Aero panels on.
So I resulted to taking the Aero panels partially back off, then retorquing everything because they tell you to not have everything super tight before you get everything where it should be in case you have to move stuff around a little bit. So it took me a long time to go a few steps back, torque everything down, and then go for a few steps forward again. Again, I make sure everything's super torqued and tight, correct, because this is my family in this vehicle. I want it to be super safe. And it costs a lot of money for both the vehicle and for the running boards and for the Aero covers. Yeah, again, I can fly airplanes. I have a college degree. I know my way around computers. These instructions were no good at all for the Aero covers. I'll say it a lot because it's true. It's easy to have good instructions, and these are not good instructions. I was going to show you the instructions, but I don't want to get a copyright thing because I want to take the material and show them online. You can go to the website and download the instructions for yourself, evsportline.com, and you can find your way around there. All right.
So I am done. If you have a Rivian and you want these boards from T-Sportline, don't buy the Aero panels. Waste of money. They don't fit well at all. They make things complicated. Just cut the stupid holes in the stupid panels and be done with it. Beyond that, the actual panels are fine, I think. I mean, the steps are fine. The instructions for the steps are spot on. The panels, they're horrible, horrible instructions. I did not install the jack point covers because I think if I ever had a flat tire, I had to bring it anywhere. It'd be a pain in the butt to take those off. So I'm gonna leave those off for now. I might put them on, we'll see. Let's leave a tool in the back somewhere. But overall, I think they will add some utility to the vehicle. Again, getting in and out will be easier for my kids and my wife, and maybe even me. I am getting older. But that is the initial video for the T-Sportline running boards. I'll have a little bit more footage after this, but if you want to buy them, they're good. I think they're better than the EV-based ones. They'll seem kind of cheap, in my opinion. But these are the mid-price ones. There's other ones out there that cost more money. I just got these because I got these specifically because they were mid-price and they had the Aero covers, which I like the idea of Aero covers. If I had to go back again, I might buy a different brand and just cut the stupid holes. So they have some other ones that are stainless steel and better welding on them than these do, but that's for another day. All right, my name is Darren, I'm a dad. I am an airline pilot, I'm a husband of a scientist. I also drive a Rivian. Have a great day, and thank you for stopping by.